Dawn on DOS TV. This is the newspaper review segment where we get to check out the top stories on the front pages of some of our Nigerian newspapers. My name is Usasoge Aidei, and have with me my beautiful co-host. Good day, ladies.
Hi, and I'm Blessing Raj.
And I'm Judith Ojukwu.
All right, welcome back to the program. This morning we are going to be checking three Nigerian newspapers. And before me is the Punch newspaper, and of course, Blessing has.
Nigerian Tribune.
And I have the Guardian.
All right, so we're going to be starting with the Punch newspaper. Then we go over to the
Tribune.
and then touch down on the Nigerian Guardian. All right, the first headline here says FG borrowed 1.3 trillion naira in 4 years to subsidize power consumers, firms, World Bank. What do you make of this, guys?
I would say it's really appalling, I must say,
Okay.
because with the fact that we have enough debt already, and the federal government still going ahead to borrow that kind of amount of money, and the money we already have on ground, I don't think our generations to come can't even pay that, because our debt now that we are owing is over 300 and something trillion naira, and for them to borrow that kind of amount, wow.
Okay, just for what you said the money that we already have on ground. But our generation
Can't
usually say that there's no money on ground, but that time
we
is just.
can't afford to pay that huge amount of money.
Ejima, what would you say?
It's sad, really, that we don't even have a country to tap on money. And we lose money every time we do tap on, of course. And then insecurity in our country, they will keep borrowing money. See, one day America come and buy us, and then maybe Uganda they will
The real recolonized.
again.
Of course, I must.
Okay, so well, this one says man plots fiance's murder over 14 million naira and promises killer herbalist 5 million naira.
Can imagine. And this because of the problem we're facing in the country.
Because
There's
there's money
lack
on
of
ground.
Money on ground?
money
Money
on
on
the
ground.
ground, and you find out that people are doing nasty things just to get the money.
So he wants to kill his girlfriend.
So he
To get
has
14
to
million.
go to that extent to kill his girlfriend over that.
Okay, now let's be a little bit realistic, right? Before we came live, we were talking about this off air,
Yeah.
and Blessed made a statement, and she was like, "Well,
Are you gonna do something like that?
yeah," and she was like, "Given the right circumstances or the right motivation, one might be led to, fall into such temptations." But do you think this is something that, well, depending on what you're facing or the right motivation, so to speak, would you think that you'd be able to find yourself in this kind of situation?
To kill the person.
14 million naira.
My sister, the money at stake here is not.
It's not small.
It's too small.
It's not small,
Okay.
but I will not have to kill somebody for that. Like,
So what
has to
amount
be a
would
way
be able to
around it.
compel
So
you?
what amount
To
would
kill
be enough for
somebody.
you to kill someone?
let's talk about it in dollars. Maybe I could.
Oh wow.
You could consider killing someone.
Yeah,
That means
in dollars.
That means the people that have been involved in all of this criminal acts, kidnapping and all of that. That means they have no choice.
Not
So
necessarily. Some
they are
people
doing
just
it
for
because
sports,
of their
actually.
for sport.
Yeah, some
Killing
people
someone
do it
Yes, for fun.
sport.
Yeah.
for
Yes,
sport.
they have serial killers. They don't need to.
Assistance. So.
They just want to kill you for fun.
It's enjoyable for them, though. That's all.
It's a psychological thing anyway, but let's not dwell on that
When
too
they are
much.
not animals.
Yeah, it's a psychological problem actually.
Wow.
Yeah, this one says Kwara suspends 2 top officers for alleged 170 million naira fraud.
I think that's a nice one, but it's
The
not
fact that
just
they were arrested or suspended.
suspended. So I think they should go beyond just suspension. And because in this country of ours, you see a situation whereby they will tell you that they've done this. It's just when it happens, that's when we know that.
We hear of the
yes,
story.
that's when we hear of the story.
After
Now
that,
that after the suspension and all of that, the whole situation just dies off.
that's not, yeah.
Just die off, and we don't know what happens at the end of it.
So what do you think can be done about situations like this? Because like you said, we hear of people actually say around here, around Nigeria, people actually say that if you want to make it as a top person in Nigeria, you have to be an ex-convict or something like that. So there's this notion that we support crime. So all you have to do is just steal like a huge amount of money, then you go to prison for like let's say 2 years, and then you come out and
Then
you're
you
running a
become
presidential campaign.
president.
What do you think about that?
In Nigeria, anything is possible.
Wow.
Or what's the way forward?
Way forward.
What's
What's
the way
that?
forward?
Darling, that is really difficult for me.
We pray because
we-
we're praying
Let's
nation.
just keep our
Just
fingers
hope.
crossed that
Really?
things like this or become worse than it already is. Because issues of fraud in Nigeria is something that has been happening. It's not just
Even before we were born.
ahead. So it's been happening. So we are saying that because of this one this and all of that. It's just because they brought out this person. There are so many cases of instances of people that have done worse than this, and you didn't even hear what happened. And there are some people that they even just stole little amount of money
Get arrested.
and they get arrested. Just that they're being probed for government.
Personally, I think the fact that there's no actual, there's no concrete, should I say, penalty
Yes.
for people like this. That's why it
Keeps
keeps
recurring,
recurring. So it sort of encourages other people. Hey, not in Nigeria.
Have you?
Do it on conscious level. But anyway, I think for now this is as much as we can take on the Punch newspaper. Let's move over to Nigerian Tribune. Let's see what that for us.
Okay, on Nigerian Tribune here we have presidency attacks PDP governors. So they are accusing them of not supporting solution to headers crisis that's still on insecurity in Nigeria here. No insecurity has been the order of the day now.
We live it, we breathe it every day.
The kidnapping,
The
violence,
kidnap-
basically.
everything.
It's just worse.
It's becoming worse. Then we also have here either north or south, no law of grazing routes in Nigeria, says Osun Senator. That you get on page 2 and page 4 of Nigerian Tribune. You can get yourself a copy if you want that. Then also on page 25 of Nigerian Tribune here, we have gunmen raise ex-commissioner, lawmaker's house behead security man on duty. Here they behead a security man on duty. That's the part of the insecurity that they
As in
behead.
beheaded.
Yes, they behead him. That's you get on page 25. On page 25 of the Nigerian Tribune. Then so this happening that every of the story here is just about insecurity. And talking about insecurity, is it that we've been talking about all of this insecurity and insecurity? Is it that the right persons or the right personnel, is it that they are not hearing or
Who are the so-called right personnel? Just to begin with.
I don't just understand because it's just reoccurring on a daily basis. I don't know. Are there some measures that they need to put in place that they are not being put in, or maybe the message is not being passed across to
At
them?
this point, I think it would be quite ignorant for anybody to say that they are
must know what's
not aware
happening. Exactly.
of the security situations in the country. And just personally, I feel it's misplaced priorities. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. It's misplaced priorities. So maybe Joma has something more to say. Okay. So is that all we have on the Nigerian Tribune?
No, we also have Jegede heads for Supreme Court as Akeredolu wins at appeal court. That you get the story you get on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. And also we have INEC removes 749 polling units from palaces, mosques, churches, and shrines. That you get on page 9. Then also on the masthead, right above the masthead, we have Nigerians short of 43,456 classrooms. That you get on page 17. Now, if we are short of all of this, 43,456 classrooms, what do you think is left?
Well, the educational
The
sector
educational
has been
sector.
suffering for years, so let's not
Still
even
suffering.
pretend that it's just happening now. No, we cannot even pretend that it's just happening now. When we talk about funding teachers, giving them actual salaries that would be enough motivation for them to actually
work.
teach well. Funny that we mentioned education. Just this morning before I came, myself and my sister were talking about my niece. She's 5. She's still in nursery school. The assignments she was given. I don't want to fall my hand, but I cannot beat my chest that I can do that assignment. So what's the motivation behind a teacher giving a nursery child an assignment, a 5-year-old child, asking her what is drug abuse? I'm like, hello, whatever happened to the A for apple that we learned in our days? Do you understand? I understand the fact that nowadays you hear things like children nowadays are very smart, they're very deep, but are they actually intelligent? Are they book smart? Do they know what they're supposed to know?
Yeah.
So you teach them things way ahead of them. Just so when they speak, it appears like they are smart, but deep down they're really, really, really not smart.
I think so that they are giving them, we have cases whereby children are not really taught what they ought to have known.
Exactly.
Especially because we at home, they say charity begins at home, and all of this training, you don't just leave it for
The school alone. True
The
that.
parents have a lot of role to play
True that.
on their kids.
But it's
So
also,
that is-
sorry to cut you short, but it's not also expected that if I'm paying, the fees for
Exactly.
schools
When
nowadays.
you come back
So
to
if
school,
I'm paying so and so
a lot of
amount,
improvement.
even if I'm going to play my role as a parent, okay, bring out your assignment, let me see what you were taught. To an extent, I should be able to see the rationale behind me paying such a huge amount of money
That's
for
your
education.
thoughts, though. Not all parents know about that.
Okay.
Not all parents, all they know is they should provide the basic things that children will need, forgetting the fact that these children also need their presence. Like you have to guide them in whatever. It's not all parents that will have to sit their kids down and ask them what were you taught in school today, what were you, and all of that. That is why you see now in schools they teach children about rape cases and all of this, because the parents, they always have this thing that my kids are still small. My kids are still small. If I'm to tell them about this, they are too young. Not only that, in this generation, this is the 21st century.
Yeah, we have
I
been in
know.
the 21st century for as long as you can remember.
Like children, you'll be amazed what they know, because they learn more from what
They
they
hear what they
see, they hear, and all of that, especially among their peers. You understand? So for them to be given all of those things, I think not just the teachers, the parents as well should have a lot of role.
Okay. So, Ijoma, would you say that the teachers also have a lot of role to play when it comes to educating a child, considering the fact that you chose the profession first of all? So, if you're being paid so and so amount for this, you should deliver. So, do you think do you agree with what Blessing said, that the parents is supposed to be 50-50, or the majority of the work falls on the teachers and the schools?
She said your first school is the house, right? The home, right? Definitely. So I used to teach before. My job was to make sure they get what I'm paid for.
Yeah.
So you just have to act, because the payment actually is not really much. It's to motivate you to do more than what you paid for. Okay, I'm saying, well, as a person who wants a person who wants to put something in children to see them grow, become better, then you have to work with your own heart. This is not about you. Bring out your time to teach them. That's just it, basically. But parents, of course, have a part to play. And every child, as they go, they tend to learn things in different stages. You can't say a small child, 5 years old, about sexual abuse. It's too much for her level. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Be too by little, she tends to get better at that. So that's just take your time. When you get to a particular age, you can talk about that, but not at that really. Let them maintain their innocence as children.
Definitely. So this goes out to the teachers. Please, we're not calling you out, but we're just saying that you should.
Take it slow.
Anything worth doing at all is
It's
worth
worth
doing.
doing.
The children, we say, are the leaders of tomorrow. So yes, we don't want a situation whereby children who have supposedly gone through school, they are put out to the world and there's nothing to show for it. Right. So now let's move over to the last newspaper. We say
Okay.
The Guardian newspaper. Okay. Boko Haram finally confirmed Shekwa death or disloyalty. Jihadist group just confirmed their chief of Baka Shekwa dead, and they're urging their followers to more loyal to him. Shekwa, sorry.
Yeah.
So what do you say about that? I mean, with all the violence in the country, they are still urging for loyalty.
I mean, I don't know if I'm wrong, but I think this is like the 10th time I've heard that Shekau is dead.
But that's true though.
I mean, I'm like, what was going on in this
I
country?
think he's dying. I think he dies and then comes back. I don't know.
You know, when
Maybe it's a new one.
the late chief of army staff was alive, as Atahiru.
Okay.
Atahiru, then, when he was in office, he made sure that all of this, Shekau, the Boko Haram, and all of that were brought to him. He tried his best, though, because at that particular time, he made sure that all these people faced the law. But now that he is late, so we also heard it that he was badly injured as at then. But now that they are confirming it that he's dead, we just hope he's actually dead.
Oh, wow.
Because my sister, before you know it now, tomorrow we just hear that he's not dead, that he's been badly injured and all of that. So we just pray that
But I mean,
all
how
of this crisis-
difficult can it be to fish out this particular group of people that we think or they say have been terrorizing the nation? How hard, if we're really sure these are the set of people terrorizing the nation, is turning the entire nation upside down? What do you think it takes to just fish them out and just allow them to face justice once and for all? So
in this country, Africa is a government.
Of course.
Understand? So there's nothing that they would want to do that they can't do. So in this point in time, I feel they don't really want to go there. Because if they really want to bring them to book, it doesn't take them a snap of a finger to do that. Because when the protest started and all of that, the Campoda and everything, all of those things.
You have to go there.
Yes, now the protest and all of those things that because if that protest is it's
The
to
NSAS
exceed
protest,
the NSAS protest, if it exceed a month, they are going to have the United Nations going to contribute and all of those things going to go wow. So they had to, in that particular situation, for it not to expatiate, to escalate further, they had to put a stop to it. That is what they can do. That is the extent at which they can go in putting a stop to things like this. So you can't tell me that these people, for crying out loud, we've been having same occurrences. In fact, before 2015,
Yes.
until date, such people still are terrorizing the whole piece of the country. And you tell me that you don't have things to do about it, that you don't know what to do about it. Hell no.
Okay.
They know
I
what
think
to do
Ijoma
about it.
mentioned
They just don't want
The
to.
government, so the government has in hand basically all these things. I mean, they're the ones who ensure security. Because, but I'm not saying I'm trying to point fingers at anybody, of course. But then, when these things were occurring, you need somebody that has a lot of power is one aiding them. So they're not just on their own. It should have ended a long time ago. I thought there was some they actually rounded them up and wanted to put them in jail or something like that. But then somebody that was aiding them had an upper hand. Just just not everything again. And that's basically it. There's nothing was about it. Okay, moving on though. Another story said no federal law created grazing reserves. Senate spokesman insists. The grazing about the China state said there was no law created that Buhari should the president Buhari should try and settle the herders crisis before it gets out of hand, because there's no law that said they must graze their cows and stuff like that. So basically,
In terms of talking in terms of grazing, my own opinion, I would say that if the southern governors or the southerners are saying that they don't want herdsmen to graze in their side, I would say it's not to ban the open grazing. I would say it's not such a terrible idea.
Okay.
It's not such a terrible
What's
idea
that?
because agriculture helps our economy. And we
Yes.
cannot deny the fact that our economy has been in shambles for a long time. So if at least the agricultural sector is doing well, I think it would, to an extent,
Help
boost the
the
economy.
economy.
We won't have to be borrowing
Money
external
every time.
funds so much.
with
It helps with employment also.
Yes.
So basically, it's betters the economy.
You know, we have a lot of things to focus on in this country. We are blessed.
Of course.
So instead of we borrowing a whole lot of money, do you know that you realize that sport is something that,
Yeah.
if they can really focus on, it will
Generate
it
a lot
will
of funds
generate a
for
whole lot
the
of
country,
money.
yeah.
Agriculture, it helps a lot, and it can even reduce the whole job, whatever,
Job hunting, job
the
searching,
job hunting,
every time.
because every year you find out that graduates, a lot of graduates are out there
It's moving the streets.
roaming the streets. Can you imagine graduates earning less than 30,000 naira? And even the 30,000 naira minimum wage that we're even talking about, bag of rice is even more expensive. It's even more than the minimum wage. And you go every year bringing out different stories saying that there's no money while you have things to fetch you money.
Of course. It's just like you
How
said,
can
it's
a whole
specialities.
giant of Africa, so to say,
supposedly.
supposedly
Yeah.
be facing
A whole lot of
a whole lot
prices.
of crisis?
Well,
It's a big problem.
yes, a whole
And
lot of
even our generation to come.
yes, a
It
whole
only
lot of
takes the grace of
sensitization needs to be done concerning this matter, concerning insecurity, concerning agriculture,
Economic crisis.
you know, a whole lot of sensitization really needs to be done. And as always, we are clamoring on the government because you're all with us.
Yes, so
That is
I
very
tap
power
on this government.
in
The
this
change
country.
will start with us.
Of course, definitely the change starts with us. Your mindset goes a long way. But definitely the higher power is the government, and we're still clamoring. Please help us out of this situation. Help us fix the menace that is before in the country. And this is how we wrap up on the newspaper review segment of Dawn on VOS TV. Keep watching.